He asked me, yo, you from D.C. or you from Brooklyn? Because I used to go to Howard University, so everybody thought I was from D.C. I was like, nah, son, I went to Tilden High School. I lived in Flatbush, Brooklyn. He was like, oh, all right, yeah. Just wanted to make sure everything was going to be copacetic. He gave me like 5 of these, like, you know, all them joints. That was the first time I met Big.
I see the gimmicks, the whack lyrics, the shit is depressing, pathetic. Please forget it.
One late night, son must have had like 3-4 shows in one night, and we were just going from Philly and Jersey back and forth. And I was just like, how is Duke just gonna do all these shows like as big as he is, and as far as breath control and just the way Duke used to just perform and just float across the stage? Nah, that's the real life, you know what I'm saying? And that used to really bug me out. And then, you know, I just stepped aside. I was like, yo, dog, you ready for the next one? He was like, yeah, whatever. Like, that was his favorite word, whatever. Yeah. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, son gonna win. He's gonna be the best.
I don't feel like I'm a role model because I can every now and then I can act up, and I don't want to take that position of being a role model and then do something that people won't like. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a regular guy. I'm a Brooklyn boy, born and hustling, and just got on. I'm doing good, and I'm trying to keep doing good.
As far as like the media, they usually do an excellent job of just portraying all the negative, especially when you're young and you're successful or people are following you. They really try to bring you down. The negative wasn't even really a part of Biggie's personality. To me, everyone can do whatever they want to do whenever they're not around. Do you understand? But when he was around us, he never showed us anything like that. If it was women or girls or whatever, they never felt uncomfortable or threatened by being in Biggie's presence because he was so polite to people, so nice to people, had conversations for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If he's in the street getting out of a car and a girl wants to get his autograph or a little kid wants to get his autograph, he would stop, tell everybody, wait, let me just do this and go upstairs. So someone like that who's so good-hearted like that, you know, I really can't feel all the negative.
Gangsters don't rap. Gangsters are gangsters. They rob and steal and kill and murder, you know. I just rhyme about what I know and what I've been through. You know, that's about it, you know. My life is real, so I wrote about it.
He was so charming when it came to women. I remember going around the music business and saying, Biggie's gonna be a ladies' man. And they were like, not that dude, you know, how do you figure that? I said, y'all ain't never seen him around women. And he was real charming. It was like, hello, how are you? You know, can I take you to lunch? You know, it was like not just the average street corner, yo, baby, what's your name? You know, he was a gentleman when it came to women, and that's why women used to love him. Even in his rhymes, his rhymes was gentleman. You know, he wasn't you know, he had the aura of, I'll kill you, but I could, you know, but you could still love me at the same time, and that's what made him special.
You know, he made everybody feel comfortable. Kept the jokes flowing, kept the people laughing. Like, people would look at him, hear his music, and be like, damn, but then once they meet him, they'd be like, oh, he's nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? People be damn near scared to approach him, but once they meet him and all that, it was all good. Like,
he was a smart dude, though. He was a smart dude, very intelligent. That was the deceiving part. Like you hear him talking the ghetto prose and the ghetto words and speaking the language of the hood, but he could sit in a room with anybody and have a whole court, a whole conversation with them. That was the deceiving part. And if you ain't really get to know him, you would never get to see that part, because like all these people in his room, he had personals with. So you know what I'm saying? Like, he had personals with everybody in his, that's why everybody could say that. But there's a lot of people, they have personals with him because he understood the nature of the game. There's no need for me to get tight with everybody. I'm gonna get tight with the people that's holding me down.
He was a very cool, beautiful brother. Had things together, sense of humor, very smart, very atypical as far as artists go in this game. And looked out for a lot of people, if I didn't say that already. And a lot of people were grateful and appreciative to him for it.
Everybody wanted us to get to that level, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted us to be big at what they're doing. At least I know I do. I look at everybody else and, you know, they got the Crystals and they got the pretty girls and they got the Benzes and everything. So that's kind of like, that's like the mediocre stage for everything right now. You want to just take it to that next level.
He was such an extraordinary rapper and musician. And I think that comes with the territory. For you to be at that particular point in your life in terms of people just saying like you are the king of New York, you know, you're a music legend within your time, I think people just really have to check for at least 99.9% of all your music.
But let's talk about the album itself. What's the theme behind it?
The album is called Ready to Die. It's just a big pie with different slices of things that happen in my life, you know what I'm saying?
Why Ready to Die?
Because? I guess if I figured it out like this, if you wake up in the morning, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't going to school, you ain't working, you hustling every day trying to get some money, you're risking your life every day, and you're doing it every day without any hesitation, so you're ready to die. You don't really care, you're just trying to get paper. That's the only thing that was on your mind, that's the only thing that was on my mind, so I wrote a song about it.
He was a big man, black, you know what I'm saying? Like he'd say ugly, lazy, but then you saw through, he was a player. You know what I mean? At the same time, he's a sex symbol. He was a sex symbol and he was crazy with the lyrics. But he wasn't just a lyricist. It's like he tells stories, you know what I'm saying? He had mad aspects to his thing. He's the only real hardcore rapper that could do a One More Chance and people would love it.
Still be respected.
And be respected.
And say hardcore things in his lyrics that people probably wouldn't even pick up on. Or like they put on the radio that they may mute you out for all the time. But he has his way of making you feel like, or bringing the hardcore stuff to you with a swing, like.
Yeah, charisma.
Yeah, charisma. That was just ill about Big.
Big was probably one of the few artists that can basically kill any beat. So
he made hits.
Yeah, it was like he was searching for a certain thing that brought this out of him. Like the first time I played him Hypnotized, because I did Hypnotized, and the first time he heard it, like Big never wrote words down on a paper. Like very rarely did you see a paper out. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen one once when he did at D&D Studio when he did It's unbelievable. Biggie Smalls, he had a paper. I seen him. That was the only time I ever seen Big with a paper, right? And I don't even know if it was a whole rhyme. It may have been something he adjusted. But when I played him Hypnotized, Big was a big dude, so this chair right here would be leaning all the way back.
To the hinges.
He grabbed the side of the thing, came all the way over to me and said, yo, listen to this right here. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your word, that's it. He's like, I ain't gonna tell you no more, just wait till I finish it. Like he wouldn't really tell me his rhymes. It was like, I knew I was gonna approve it. It may be one line I didn't like, cause he may have went to the deep end, like, you know, talking about somebody's moms or something like that, cause he felt like doing it for a minute. But most of the time it was like I ain't had to question nothing, cause he knew exactly what he needed and he knew what he could rock the best.
Life after death is the flip side of things, you know what I'm saying? I can't rhyme about being broke no more. I ain't broke. You know, I can't rhyme about hustling in the streets no more, cause I don't hustle no more, you know? So it's the life after. It's all that's over with now, you know what I'm saying? I ain't hungry no more, you know? Now, there's a new beginning, you know what I'm saying? It's the life after the death, you know?
Every artist, rap, R&B, whoever I work with, is pretty much judged by what Big did. I mean, he could come in a room and do his thing, and he didn't leave until it was done. But, you know, and how professional he was behind the mic. I mean, you know, he had his sound, he liked it a certain way, you know, you say, Steve, give me this, give me that, boom, and, you know, he perfected his, you know, what he wanted. And, I mean, you would never see him, right, I mean, I judge everybody by that. I mean, we barely did any punches. I mean, he made sure that he did his rap, or his rhyme all the way through.
But he didn't object to punches.
Well, he didn't object to it. Done. Right. If he had to do it,
he had to do it. But whatever.
I can't even count how many times we had to do it, because I mean it was probably maybe, you know, three times on a track and 3 verses, you know, and that's about it. I mean, he was just that good. And the part about not writing, I saw him write one time when somebody's gotta die, because Puff told him to change the ending.
And the verse, yes,
he told him to change the ending. He was like, Don, but that's gorgeous right there. So he said, all right. He wrote it down and he went in there and he did it, and it's, you know, it's a classic to me.
I kind of knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be that ghetto corner rapper. You know, when I had my dreams of getting in the game, it wasn't just to get in the game and still be on the corner. Like, you know, I wanted to get in the game and get the big house and the cars and with the pool, and I wanted to do all of that, you know. And I know in order to do that, there's certain things that you have to do. It's just a way you could pinch it off and just add your flavor to it. Me linking up with Puff, the old familiar, old tracks, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna get the adult attention, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's just the lyrics, it's just gonna get the younger dude's attention. So
keep them coming.
Blend them both. I mean, hey, if they want to wear the Versace and the Coogis and the Kangos and yeah, Biggie, it's all good with me. I ain't got no problem with it.
Especially like for his crew and his friends around him, they looked up to him. He set it off, like he went up and did his thing, and then he just spread love to all. Like if he was buying sneakers, his whole crew had to buy sneakers. If he was buying jewelry, his whole crew had to get some jewelry. That was just him. And he said that in his records, but that was real. That wasn't just lyrics. That was Big. That was Christopher Wallace.
The first time I even met Big, and we was up at Scarsdale, we had no dough. Puff wasn't there, so the stash wasn't there, you know, and we was hungry. We was working in the studio waiting for this cat to come home so we could get busy, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, Big came out of his pocket, we scrambled up. Me, D-Rock, and Big must have scrambled up like a good $6.75 and got some pizza, you know what I'm saying? He ain't know me from nowhere, you know what I mean? But I was included in, you know? That's his type, like, he was like, yo, you fam now. That's how it initiated to me, like, all right, you here, you struggling with us, let's make it, you know what I mean?
He made sure you ate.
Yep.
He made sure you ate. You weren't hungry. You were thirsty.
Whatever he was doing, you was doing. You going shopping, get some new Timbs, the whole crew get some Timbs.
Right.
I mean, he shot for everybody. Everything was, you know what I mean?
Right.
He flew people out overseas with him, like brothers that was trying to, you know, get on. He went overseas, he'd take them with him. Like, yo, come on, y'all just get on my team. Fly with us over to Amsterdam. Took him to Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Just no doubt.
The initial dream, he said, when he went overseas, he was taking mad people overseas.
He took wild people overseas with him just because he had love like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. People couldn't even speak English, but they sing his whole song from the beginning to the end. Word up. That's how much love he had around the world. Like, he's influenced to the world, not just one state or one country, you know what I'm saying? Had it going on all over, yo.
Who influenced you, rap style?
Big, that's my mentor, my best friend, I love him, that's my baby. He's just all that.
Right. And he gave you the skills and all that. He helped you with your skills.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, you know, my mentor. A lot of people, you know, think he write my rhymes and everything. And I take that as a compliment, you know what I mean? That man is dope, and to me, he's just the best rapper.
When I started my album or whatever, you know, I was rolling with a bunch of little dudes, you know, from around the way on the corners or whatever. And I was like, yo, once I get on and get my foot right where I need it, I'm gonna leave the door open, put y'all on, and that's on y'all to bum rush it.
What's up with Junior Mafia?
The click just got signed to Big Beat, you know what I'm saying? Album is almost done, produced by myself, Clark Kent, you know, a few others, Easy LP, my man Buck, everybody just helping me out, you know. They saw me trying to make my little power move and they with it, so it's gonna be the bomb.
Now these people, are they from like way back when?
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the clip is people that been down from when I was in the back room at my mom's crib, you know what I'm saying? They knew what was gonna happen and they just was willing to wait and see what I had in store. You know, I always knew what I wanted to do up top, but you know how I go, money make the world go round, so I had to make a few moves here and there, but I got it. So about to put JM out this summer. It's gonna be a beautiful experience.
One of the most talked about parts of your life, your relationship with Faye. How are things?
I mean, we ain't together no more. She just had a baby for me, or whatever, you know. We ain't together. We cool though. We tight.
That's cool. You know, that's all everybody really wanted to hear.
Yeah, we cool. It ain't like we warring at each other now. We be at the studio or whatever. She working on her new album, The Bomb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just be kicking it. It's just the relationship ain't work out, but you know, we gonna always be together because, you know, we got a little shorty together, so that's gonna be the happy part out of me and her, you know?
It's good to know that the mothers of his children are beautiful, responsible people. To be able to know how to teach his children that what a great man he was, and you know, because they do that every day, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're around his kids, they know Biggie, you know what I'm saying? They know that's my daddy, Biggie, and they know his records, and you know, they'll grow up with a sense of pride that, you know, he touched a lot of people and he was a great man, you know, and he changed a lot of people's lives, so, you know.
What tripped me out, and I'll never forget this day, after we was on tour, the Big Mac tour. That was a Montrose Hotel, and he wanted us to buy some groceries and all that, chicken and all that. I'm like, for what? I think he had somebody coming over. I came downstairs, that man was cooking curry chicken, little slices of tomatoes. He was dicing. I'm like, that wowed me out. Like, to see this big man behind on a little stove too. A little stove, just chopping it up. And it was nuts.
That's why he was big, though.
That's why he was B.I.G. That was ill to me. That was ill to me. And the fact that his love for music besides the hip hop. You know, like I come to the house and he's singing R&B joints. Like he knew before 112 came out, I remember he knew the whole album. He's singing and the riffs with his finger, all that. Like big, you know, this scene of big man, like Big do all that'll bug you out.
Like it was a lot of silly stuff about Big, you know what I'm saying, that he used to do. Like he used to sing, and could really sing. Like I remember when he first wanted to do the song Player Haters.
Good evening. And for my last hit, I'd like to take you back to the classic. B.I.G. style, of course. Turn your head round, lay on the ground, you've been round.
Like, he really sang that song, you know what I'm saying? And it used to be real funny to see him doing it because he knew that he could do it, you know? He used to sing in the shower and he used to do silly stuff like, you know, you go see him and he'd be like, yo, all right, y'all get out of my room, and cause I'm getting ready to get in the shower. And you be like, nah, we ain't leaving, go ahead and get in the shower. He be like, yo, I'm gonna get up naked. Like, he be sitting down maybe with a towel over him, and he'll just pull the towel off him and stand up, and we be like, oh man, we leave.
I used to always answer the phone, Leote speaking. And so he would always call my direct line whenever he needed to speak to Puffy or, you know, somebody in the company. And so it didn't dawn on me till like maybe 2 months later, and he would always say something, but I couldn't really catch what it was he was saying. So finally I said, what'd you say, Big? And he was like, how you doing, Miss Speaking? And I was like, Miss Speaking? And he was like, yeah, you always answer the phone, Leote speaking, so that's your name, Miss Speaking, right? So I was like, oh, okay, you got jokes. So that was like really one of the funniest things, though. And so then that became my new name. How you doing, Miss Speaking? Everything was, hi, Miss Speaking, where's Puff? How you doing, Miss Speaking, is Big? So that was like this little personal joke we had amongst each other.
One that always comes to mind, just to let you know the type of a character that he was, first of all, he was always a very smart, sort of like more intellectual than you would think. And I don't mean to feed into other people's stereotypes of rap artists, but Biggie was very much that word wizard that you feel and hear when you listen to his stuff. He had things going on, and he joked and had a really great sense of humor, very funny, and you were always laughing around him. And I think that we had a royalty check for him, maybe his first one. It was some type of check, and it was really big. And it was a big moment, and we were trying to go crazy over how to do this ceremony or whatever. It all ended up with Sean giving him the check, of course, because that's who was supposed to do it. But when he came up, he didn't know who was giving it to him, so he came into the office, him and his boys. And I think history tells you, or tells rappers, that you never get your check, or it's hard to get paid. And if you do get paid, you gotta go bring your guns or whatever. He used to come, we had a predominantly female staff at the time, around that time, and most of the guys were on the street team or at the studio, not at the office. And he came up, him and his boys, and kicked my door, and everything was out, and it was like, where's my check? Because he came to collect his check. Unfortunately, I didn't have it. I knew he wasn't serious, but I didn't have it. The check was at the studio waiting for him to go down to Sean to pick up the check. But what was funny about it was that he went through this whole big scenario about how he has to get his money and he wants to get paid, even after I told him the check was where it was. And I think he even went into the next door office and chased the girls and marketing all around. And there was a whole bunch of laughter and a whole bunch of hee-hee, ha-ha. And he always made everything a party. And he had a sense of humor to keep everything going like that. Even when he is happy and taking care of his business, he wanted everyone to be happy when he was. And I got that from him, and it was always a big smile after Biggie was around.
We're sitting in Studio A at Daddy's house. You know how he got that lazy eye, that I just be going everywhere. So sometimes you don't know he's talking to you. Yeah. So I'm sitting at the board, I'm engineering, and I turn around, he keeps talking, I keep turning around. And if you got in his business, he say, Playboy, mind your business, play your position, PYP, do your thing. Yeah. And then there's certain times where he was talking to you, and he looking over here, but he talking to you right there, and he say, Playboy, why you not doing what I'm asking you to do? And I'm like, well, I was looking at you. I'm like, oh man. And there's a couple times also, same lazy eye story. A soda was sitting on the table, and he was just leaning. You know how when you're in the studio, he leaned back in the chairs. I mean, I thought the chairs were gonna break, but he was leaning back. And you thought he was about to go knock over the soda, but he went and grabbed something else in between the soda and something else. But he looking over here, and he doing all this, and he was like, what you doing, man? I got this. So that's one of the funniest things that happened with me. So, that was like an everyday thing, too.
He used to moon people in the restaurants, you know what I'm saying? And, his feet stink, and and he didn't care. He didn't care about what people thought about him. He was just so Biggie. He was like, if you described him, you would just have to say Biggie. You know what I'm saying? He had it all, man. He was magical to children, adults, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mother adored him, it was like everything, it was... I remember the day that he went, he was in a car accident and he had broke his leg. I went to the hospital and he's sitting there, and he somehow convinced me to feed him. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm sitting there feeding him, and he's like, give me some of that fruit. And I'm saying, then I thought about it, I said, Biggie, your leg is broke. Ain't nothing wrong with your hands, you know what I'm saying? But that's what he had the power to do, He had the power to make you do things that you didn't even know you were doing,
We'll always love Big Papa, Big Papa, Big Papa.
We'll always love you, Big. We'll always love you.
I done went through so much, being in the streets or whatever. I done been through so much. My mom's done been through so much. It feel good to just have her at ease. You know what I'm saying? Knowing her son is cool and he ain't in the streets doing no wrong. He trying to make it happen. I gotta stay on a positive vibe. All my people's gotta stay on a positive vibe, The negativity just brings failure, And we ain't trying to fail in this game, we're trying to succeed.
What started out as a celebration of music turned into a wake for another member of our hip-hop family.
Unknown suspects apparently fired multiple rounds at one victim by the name of Christopher Wallace, age 24.
Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G, had left a private party at this museum in honor of the Soul Train Music Awards and was sitting in his suburban truck when someone opened fire.
We heard the shots and basically everybody started running.
By the time Biggie arrived at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, he was dead at the age of 24.
I couldn't even believe it because I wasn't out in LA at that time. So I was home sleeping. So it was like the middle of the night. It was just a weird phone call. I just got a phone call, and my man Derek Angeletti was just yelling on the phone, "They killed Big, they killed Big, I'm gonna call you back, they killed Big." And I remember just hanging up the phone, and I was just like, you know what I'm saying? What are they talking about right now? And then like an hour or two later, we couldn't get in touch with anybody. We're calling everybody, couldn't get in touch with them. And an hour or two later, D had called me back and told me that they killed Big out there. And it was something that was just, I felt like the world just crumbled.
You give somebody a pound, and like 10 minutes later, that person ain't with you no more. But then you have to see the faces of all the people that you was just with an hour ago. Right. And nobody got nothing, can't nobody speak.
That's real, yo. I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get. And jealousy and envy is something that comes with the territory, man. A lot of people, it's just negative energy, like my man Puff say.
I got a phone call from Damien. And Damien called me, and he was crying. And what he said to me was, he was saying, he's gone, he's gone. And I was trying to, like, really understand what he was saying to me, you know. It was like, who's gone, you know? And he kept saying, yo, he's gone, he's gone. And he didn't never have to say Biggie because it was Damien on the phone, you know what I'm saying? And he was crying. And I just, from that day forward, I've really never had an emotion towards that phone call, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I just went numb, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't home. I got up and I got dressed, and I don't know how I got home, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I just knew that I was in front of my door and I was sitting in my truck, and it was like, how did I get here, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how zoned out I was.
Actually, that was like one of the I think the saddest day of my life, because I had never, ever experienced anything as tragic as that. I was actually out in LA at the time because I was working at Bad Boy, and I was very close to Puffy as his executive assistant. And I was at my hotel, and I had received about 3 calls. Actually, it was more than that, but I guess after the 3rd call, that's when I decided to really take the phone calls seriously, because you were always subject to all different kind of rumors. And the media had just been such a force in perpetuating a lot of negative stereotypes and just rumors. And so, you know, I had received a phone call that he got shot, and didn't believe it until, like I said, about after the 3rd phone call. And actually, one of the people in my promotions department called, and they were in front of the hospital, and they were on speakerphone, and that's when I heard one of the security officers saying that, you know, he passed.
How did it get to that day where you got to watch your back and have bodyguards and all that?
I mean, it's not just with rappers, you know what I'm saying? People gonna attack anybody that's a large figure, you know what I'm saying? They did it to Jordan, they did it to Tyson, they did it to Bill Cosby, you know what I'm saying? Right. They're gonna attack you if you're on top, you know what I'm saying? It's just your job to bob and weave.
I had talked to him hours prior, and he was telling me that he wasn't going anywhere that night. So I was resting with that. I was comfortable with that. Then to be awakened early in the morning to a phone call with someone yelling and screaming and crying in the background just really unnerved me. I will never forget that moment. To tell you how I felt empty. I felt empty for one because I wasn't there. I felt like, damn, if I was there, maybe I could have done this or I could have done that. So I was going through that guilt trip thing as if it was my fault. I felt like my world just was crushed, like I lost a friend.
I was in LA, I was shocked, it was disbelief. I was running the company at the time. It was my obligation to make sure that no additional harm was brought to anyone else in the family, because that's what we were at Bad Boy, a family, and that's what they are today, a family. I had to step up into administration mode. Let's get out of LA, let's get back to New York. Let's make preparations to get him back home, and then let's try to figure out how we're going to give him the best going away ceremony possible, one that befits his character. And I conducted the funeral along with Wayne Barrow, who is co-management with Mark Pitts of Biggie's Korean Affairs at the time. And it was a hard ordeal for all of us. I was particularly concerned for Sean because they were best friends, and I knew that the effect that it would have on him, I would have to deal with a lot longer than whatever administration duties that I might have had in dealing with Biggie's situation at that moment. The pain still lives with us all to this day, because whenever we hear his music, we wish that he was here to enjoy the effect that he has had on so many people, because seeing them smile, he would just smile even more.
I kind of realized how powerful Tupac and I was. You know what I'm saying? Because we two individual people, we waged a coastal beef. You know what I'm saying? One man against one man made a whole West Coast hate a whole East Coast, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And that really bugged me out. Like, yo, Duke don't like me, so this whole coast don't like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like him, so my whole coast don't like him. It just kind of let me know how much strength I had. So what I'm trying to do now, you know what I'm saying, with his untimely demise or whatever, I got to be the one to flip it and take my power and flip it like, yo, it got to be dead, you know what I'm saying, because he can't do that. You know what I'm saying? He can't be the one to be like, yo, I want to squash it because he's gone. So I got to take the weight on both sides. That's why I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? We hitting every club, every radio station, you know. We get our little eye screws and everything, but I just tell them straight up, yo, you know you love me. It's real. Because, I mean, come on, you don't got ready to die? Let's be real. You got to be real about it. You know what I'm saying?
Got the job.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Just because that man had a beef with me or I had a beef with him, that don't mean you can't like me. Ask me what's going on. Ask me what's going on, and I'm going to talk to you just like you're a regular person. So I got to squash it.
If Big and Pac was alive today and they were still friends, it'd probably be a Notorious Pac album. That's real. It would probably be, it would shut everything down, what's going on. I mean, I got blessings for everybody who's doing their thing. You know, I mean, I'm not taking anything from anyone right now. But for real, they paved it. You know what I'm saying? It'd have been over. It'd been over. It'd been shut down. It had the best of the Notorious Pac albums. It had Pac versus Big. It would be. You would run with it. You would run with this. You know, because it would be nuts right now. Woo.
We used to see Tupac all the time when he came to New York. He used to chill with us. We used to go to clubs. That was another excellent person that, you know, definitely every time I used to see Tupac, I didn't see him that much. We didn't even have too many words for each other. I knew his name, he knew my name, everything. But every time I saw him, I gave him wild love. Because him and the Biggie are the same type of people. They're just trying to do it. They're not settling until they're the best. They weren't settling until they were the biggest rap stars ever. If Big and Tupac were still here, and besides all the negativity that probably drew them apart when they were friends originally, I think they would have been making songs together. They would have probably been in a movie together where it was just Big and Tupac headlining the whole movie, and all America's going to watch it.
Pac Pac is a strong dude, yo. I know Duke, you know what I'm saying? He real strong. So when they was like, he got shot, I was just more like, again? You know what I'm saying? He always getting shot or shot at. He gonna pull through this one again, make a few records about it, and it's gonna be over, you know what I'm saying? But when he died, I was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It kind of took me by, you know, even though we was going through our drama, I would never wish death on nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't no coming back from that. So it kind of turned me down a little bit. But at the same time, you know, you gotta move on. You know, I felt for his moms, for his family or whatever, but, you know, things gotta move on, you know? I felt them, I still feel them. You know, we got the records. You know, I'm out here every day. He run the radio station. He ain't got heavy rotation. He got every rotation.
Every rotation.
You know what I'm saying?
Everywhere you go.
I hear him, and every time I hear him, I feel him. So he gonna always be here.
I guess if I can think idealistically, that you know, they definitely would have probably done something musically together. I would have loved to see them do something musically together, do something on film, you know, have a phenomenal tour. I definitely think, though, that
I want to be the only way I've been practicing.
if I can think optimistically, that, you know, all the other extenuating circumstances that surrounding it, because in my personal opinion, there really was no beef, but that's a whole nother story. I would have liked to see them definitely do something together musically. I think the fans would have too.
If Biggie was here today on his birthday, he would be or would have already planned one of the biggest parties in New York, or maybe the biggest 2 or 3 parties, since it looks as if it's falling on a weekend this time. He would have covered the whole territory in New York, and it would have been on and popping, and I would have been looking for my invite, and I would have had to wait in line if I had to get in that party, because you would want to be where he was on his birthday. And it would have been more than just smoking blunts and popping Cristal bottles, you know, tipping bottles. It would have been about community, love, family, relationships, and fun. You know what I mean? And he would have been the perfect host, because that's just how he got down. He had fun making sure you had fun.
Today's Biggie's birthday. What we doing today? We're going to the club, whatever club is hot right now. Well, it wouldn't even matter what club is hot, as long as it's a bar. Really, it wouldn't even matter what club is hot. We're gonna make the party. We're gonna buy out the bar, and we're gonna buy the bar for everybody.
Yeah, anybody.
Everybody. Everyone's drinking. Everyone's drinking. You stop drinking. You're drinking tonight. You know, everyone's drinking.
Sitting in the corner, rolling up the line.
And he wondering where my gifts at.
This year, I know what Biggie's birthday party would have been. This year, on his birthday, he would have officially opened up his own strip club, and he would have been the only guy in that strip club with all of his strippers for his birthday. Because that's what he wanted. He wanted a strip club. And he would have been on the dance floor, and he would have been naked, and he just would have been just him and 200 bottles of Cristal and 50 strippers. And he would have had a great time. You know, that's what he would have did. Then he would have went across the street to Big Papa's Chicken and Waffles, the other idea he wanted to do, you know. And that's how he would have ended his birthday, you know. And he would have went home and went to sleep.
the Notorious B.I.G. would definitely have his crew with him, a nice, big, gigantic bottle of Cristal. Don't want to say what else, but definitely that would definitely be one of the little party things going on. Definitely having fun now. Definitely enjoying himself and cracking a lot of jokes. Funny guy. Very, very funny guy.
His birthday feel like it was everybody's birthday.
Crazy. He had a new rollie that he got for his birthday, the new rollie, the one that extended all the way up to the elbow. You know what I'm saying? He would have had on the next thing. Everybody.
If Big was here today on his birthday, you know, I think everybody would just be excited. You know, like I told you, he had that aura, that power. He made everybody feel good. I think that everybody would be excited.
Happy birthday, Big Man.
B.I.G. We love you, son. Best in the game.